After a hearty dinner, it's good to dispose of the food on your plate. My mother used to say, though, it's not good to waste your food, but this is different. Scraps needed to go somewhere, right? There is no use for scraps on your plate. It can be bothersome having to scrape off the food of China and toss it in the trash, where it sits there to rot. Everything from scrambled eggs to torn lettuce, tomatoes, chicken, rice, avocado, and sandwiches. That is why I was thrilled to get a garbage disposal in my house, because its cleaning relaxes me. I just got in a divorce with my husband after he completely left me with our child, Anthony. He's almost 4. Anthony's really loud and somewhat bothersome. To be honest, I kind of wish I never had him, not with the scum of husband I had. Anyways, just last week, I moved into a new house after finding it during a drive around the neighborhood. My mother and I stayed there together in her house for a month until I can get back up on my feet. This house, though, it's amazing. It's got everything from a high chandelier, wood floors, a spectacular yard with 3 bedrooms, and a ton of space. I have to say that the kitchen is my favorite. The counters are beautiful with white granite. It was then tiled with peppered and gorgeous patterns that I can't even describe. Like I said before, the sink comes with the garbage disposal. It works really well. I tend to clean when I'm stressed, so I leave dishes in the sink just to clean them later for ease. It sounds strange, probably because we relieve ourselves differently, right? After this garbage disposal's noise, it almost sounds like static, somewhat yet calming, yet ear-filling. Anthony usually watches his television shows while I clean our plates, so I wouldn't have to worry about him. One day I was finishing up cleaning. The noise of the disposal filled the room as I rinsed off the pans with the tortellini and I had made earlier that afternoon. That's when the doorbell sounded. I looked over and I couldn't see who it was at the door from where I was at. I turned off the disposal and walked over to the entrance of the house, opening it with a deep caution, and guess who was there? My ex-husband, standing still with a look on his face as if he felt sorry for me. I can't quite remember what he said. He had some kind of bouquet of flowers in his hand, a fedora of roses and tulips, wrapped in orange plastic. I wanted to scream just then. No, I didn't want him back. He's nothing. I turned around and started walking away, the door ajar. I immediately began cleaning again. Turning on the disposal of the thin tortellini was pushed in. The blades ate the tortellini like savage. Footsteps followed me as my ex-husband called me, but before he found me in the kitchen, he set the flowers down to me and put a hand on my shoulder. But I knew just what to do. I took his wrist with my hand and began pulling it over to around my side. I didn't bother looking at the awful man. I set his hand in the sink and the disposal running and grinding. In my head I imagined cleaning this off a plate of rough meat. I was sent quickly to set his hand into the disposal. This is where he began to struggle as the blades began to eat at his fingers and hand. I thought I could hear him screaming over the comforting sound of the disposal as blood began running up towards the sink. It was probably just my imagination. I looked down, and with flurry red in my eyes, I was in denial, and I simply thought to myself, what a waste, as my mother would say. The man's arm was eaten up to his wrist as of now, but I kept going. From the corner of my eye, his left hand was flailing about it pathetically as the screams intensified. I felt droplets of what I imagined to be ranch or steak juice ran against my cheeks from the sink. There was a lot of it. That's when the disposal got caught of the whir, struggling to grind the arm. It was stuck now, and my ex's screaming stopped. Maybe the disposal needed a break? I moved the switch and turned it off. Taking a step to the side, the man fell against the sink, caught in the drain. What a waste. I looked over at the flowers, and there was a note that read in the plastic. I'm sorry, it read. There was also a picture of Anthony on the note, with some more writing that I couldn't care enough to read well. Well, garbage is garbage. I picked up the bouquet and tossed it into the bloody sink. just to take care of later.